Baseball University of the Blue Ridge welcomes you to the Western North Carolina Scout Streaming Series presented by CamWood Bats. We're live from Hayesville, North Carolina on the campus of Hayesville High School for a Smoky Mountain 1A conference matchup between the Murphy Bulldogs and the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. I want to thank our broadcast sponsor, CamWood Bats. CamWood Bats located in Haywood County, but serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Get your game badge, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more all available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. As part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. Thank you to CamWood. Well, just had senior night here at Hayesville. Congratulations
long
to
flip and drive
1,
up here
2,
too.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seniors.
Yeah, glad to be here, but holy moly, what a drive! Say Hunter took us through South Carolina, Georgia.
Been through 3 states today.
Seen a few things. Glad to be here, though. This is a really important game for us. First Smoky Mountain Conference game of the year, and this is a conference that gets overlooked sometimes, but this is the shining light of small school baseball in Hayesville. I mean, this field is beautiful. I'm sure Hunter will show you a couple angles here in a minute. No lights yet, but man, what a great complex. I think it was just built a year or two ago. New scoreboard out there. But yeah, I mean, I think some people back closer to Henderson, Buncombe County could take some notes on these folks and how they put together a facility.
Yeah, let's get right into the pregame show. Going to be short today with the game starting about 10 minutes. Want to thank our pregame sponsor, Meineke. They're the pregame and postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, West North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. With numerous locations in the West North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced, whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires and wheels, AC, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina.
Well, to be a small school coach, right, you usually have less depth. You know, you usually have less tools and facilities, but not in this case. Head coach for Hayesville, Joe Jack Sellers, third year. He's done a great job, and he's a hometown guy. Graduated Hayesville in 91. Went on to play at Western. He was actually part of the last state championship team at Hayesville in 1988. Played at Western from 92 to 95 as part of 3 SoCon conferences and NCAA regional teams. And then on the other side, we have Tyler Edwards in his 4th year at Murphy, graduated from Andrews High School. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a minute. We got PA announcer doing the lineups. I don't want to interfere with that.
Number 11, Haley. Number 12, Gracie. Number 3, Jenna.
Actually, wait, that's the softball. So that's the thing here. This facility's got softball and baseball press box working together here, so we'll keep going. Let's see. Hayesville currently standing with a record of...
They're 11-7, 10-0, while Murphy's 7-10, 7-3. Showing the coaches poll right now, Hayesville's picked first, Murphy picked second, so looking like it's going to end up that way.
Well, Swain has been making a good run this year, too. They'll probably get into the playoffs. But yeah, Murphy coming off of a sweep of Hiawassee Dam yesterday, played them in a doubleheader. They're also going to have Hayesville on Thursday. So, yes, this is a very important game for Murphy, is trying to make a playoff run. Hayesville, they're coming off of let's see, I think they beat Cherokee last week.
Number 16.
Lost to Franklin in 8 innings by 1. And then I think they swept Robbinsville in a doubleheader back on Friday. So they've been cruising through the Smoky Mountain Conference. Had some good wins this year. We went through Towns County, so I know they played Towns County. I think they beat them twice. So it's funny being out here in this locale because the more local teams to them are like, what, Towns County's 10 minutes down the road.
Towns County, Union County.
Yep. Unicoi. We passed Unicoi, Tennessee.
Now your baseball starting lineups.
It's just really interesting because it's not easy to drive into Asheville and just pick up a game when it's 2+ hour drive.
No, I don't see how these Hayesville boys played in that Bob Jones league that year. Whereas
last
year.
All right, now we're going to be quiet and let the PA announcer do his job.
Number 8, Colton Morgan. Number 27, Caleb Kephart. Number 14, Aiden Williams. Number 13, Carter Adams. And number 12, Grayson Hall. And now, the starting lineup for your Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Senior number 1, Michael Money. Senior number 2, Cooper Matheson. Number 21, Jackson Sellers. Senior number 3, Kyle Shaheen. Senior number 11, Tate Roberts. Senior number 4, Kendall Boyer. Senior number 10, Chance Hughes. Senior number 15, Dawson Devane. And senior number 7, Cade Caruso.
So we're going to get into the anthem here, and then we'll tell you about our sponsors and get into these lineups a little bit more.
Remove all headgear from playing in the national anthem.
All right.
We want to go ahead and talk about our travel sponsor this evening, Maths and Construction, helping Baseball University with the travel expenses we encounter throughout the spring, including gas, food, and in some cases lodging. Maths and Construction, we do everything from driveways to subdivisions. We do clearing, house sites, and all your grade needs. We also do hauling, gravel, dirt, and sand as well. Been in business for over 35 years. Thank you for Maths and Construction being our travel sponsor. I want to thank our first home team sponsor, Ledford and Parker Incorporated, as well as our second home team sponsor, Southern Outdoors, sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the home team prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame for the Hayesville Yellow Jacket prospects. A little bit about Ledford and Parker. Ledford and Parker Incorporated is a family-owned highway and underground utility contractor based out of Hayesville and licensed and operated in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. LNP is seeking experienced project managers willing to work hard and lead others until the job is done. We offer competitive pay, opportunities to grow, as well as health insurance and a HSA match. Call or go online to apply at www.ledfordandparker.com. Thank you to them for being our home team sponsors. And thank you to our away team sponsor, BH Granny Landscapes Incorporated, sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Murphy Bulldog prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. Tonight's away team is proudly sponsored by BH Granny Landscapes Incorporated, mountain grown and locally known, and celebrating 20 years of service across Asheville and Western North Carolina. From athletic fields to outdoor living spaces, they build a reputation for quality landscape design, construction, maintenance, and a big thank you to BH Granning for helping shape the places we play, cheer, and grow on and off the field. We got that one in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a little envious of these Yellow Jackets. Brings back memories of Edneyville. Edneyville used to be the Yellow Jackets, and it has that feel of small town baseball, where like this is one of the main sources of entertainment. You know, a whole town shows up, whole town cheers. I got softball playing over here as well with the Lady Jackets. Great mountain backdrop. Really enjoyed the drive. So I mean, these boys are blessed to be out here, and they deserve to have some attention put on them because there's some alumni that have come through and played here before.
We'll talk about a lot of them throughout tonight's broadcast. We'll have to cut our pregame short. I want to mention our first inning sponsor, Bloom Patch Farm, as we get going here. Thank you to Coach Sumner's wife, Miss Sumner, over at Bloom Patch, offering over 300 dahlia varieties for spring planting. Appreciate them for being our first standing sponsor here in the Scout and Streaming Series. As we're going to get into the Meineke Fleet Keys to the Game real quick as well, what makes Meineke the smart choice for your fleet? Solutions to meet the needs of any fleet, including fleet leasing, self-managed rental agencies, and more. Meineke is proud to sponsor the Meineke Fleet Keys to the Game.
Yeah, we'll get into those keys in a second here. Jackson Sellers is going to deliver his first pitch. Jackson, a junior and a real prospect. Again, he can hit low eights. We saw him down in November at our Cleveland Community College prospect filming. Big size. Gets to get a little bit more flexible, but he's going to be a guy. Hits the ball real hard, too. And leading off here is Zach Hogshead. He's a sophomore that Coach Edwards told me to take a look at in the again, he's in that 27 class infield pitcher. So right off the bat, a couple a sophomore and a junior to take a look at. I think Jackson would be a great JUCO candidate. Reminds me a lot of Jeb Schuler that came out of Robbinsville a couple years ago, got into Cleveland, and then I want to say is it either Carson Newman or Tusculum now. Tusculum. Well, we're going to start with a hit by pitch here in the top of the first. Hogshead down to first base. Barely nicked him. Even took him a second to get out of the box himself there, waited for the umpire to confirm. And that's going to bring up number 35, Alex Roldan, also a senior. I'm not sure if Murphy's maybe doing their senior night on Thursday. Sellers quick off the mound, throws to first. Oh, he's going to throw it high. It's going to go over Shaheen's head, and that's going to happen in the right field. Bethel picks it up, and he's able to hold everybody in the infield. So second and third on the E1 by Jackson Sellers there. So still put it down as a sack bunt, I believe, for Roldan. So I'm going to go back and look in the official scorekeeper's book to see if that actually cost him an at-bat there, since he gave himself up. And that's going to bring up number 2, Adam Cook, which is actually my middle name and last name there. I'm Ryan Adam Cook, so this is my younger doppelganger here.
That's funny.
So Adam Cook, the senior. Ball's in the dirt. Takes Hughes a minute to find it. No advancement by the runners. So into those keys of the game, the first one is small school baseball needs a small ball to thrive. So you got to do those little things right. We already saw it there with the bunt by Roldan. That's going to be the type of strategy it's going to take to beat a good team like Hayesville. Again, Murphy is the underdog in this game. Murphy's had some strong teams in the past. I think the only current Murphy alumni still playing is Dawson Hensley, who's right down the road at Young Harris. And then for your Hayesville Yellow Jackets, I believe our one alumni is Connor Bradley, who's at D1 Presbyterian, former school of Kyle Decker, who we know pretty well from North Henderson. Nice curveball by Sellers there. See the depth on it. So Hayesville is going to score some runs. They are a good offensive team. So if you're Sellers here, I know they're all playing in. You're just trying to get an out. You know, you can give up a run or two here in the first inning and still have yourself a ball game. So just fill that zone up. 2 strikes there. Show them the camera angles yet? I say this
got a couple of them.
This was interesting, trying to get these cameras set up. Holy moly. They're tight nets. Trying to get some cameras wiggled through there. There's our 1-2 delivery from Sellers. Curveball right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Cook. Only Hogshead's going to score on that, though. Hit it too hard. Here's throw down to second, and Cook is in safely on the throw home. He takes that backside extra base. So a single and an RBI for Cook. Scores Hogshead from third. It was hit too hard for Roldan to get past the third base bag. So 1-0 lead here for Murphy. We mentioned Edneyville a little earlier. The old Edneyville Yellow Jackets, their old head coach, was it Jim Gentry?
David Gentry.
Dave Gentry. Came up and continued his legendary football coaching career at Murphy. He's retired now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Still living?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just make sure. I know he's an older gentleman. 80s?
I believe so. Let's see. Wait, I know they won the state.
Catcher Peyton Bain. He's pitching tonight, but he catches when he's not pitching. There's another name that Coach Edwards told me to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, Murphy got a handful of state championships across multiple sports. As their strike one. Murphy with 10 state championships in football, 1 in boys cross country, 8 in girls cross country, 4 in girls track, ball high for make a 3-1 count, and 4 in girls basketball, most recent being the 2021 season.
So 3-1 count. First base is open here, so he doesn't have to get into him yet. Goes to the fastball. Misses low for ball 4. So a little bit of trouble here for Hayesville early on. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1 run already in. So you got to call timeout here. Pitching coach going to go out and talk to young Sellers here. Now, Hayesville won a basketball state championship 2 years ago. 23? Yep, so 2023 they won. 22, sorry.
2 state championships in baseball coming in 83 and 88. 2 in
Joe
boys.
Jack Sellers is part of that 88 team.
2 in boys basketball, 6 in girls basketball, 2 in boys cross country, 6 in girls cross country, and 2 in girls track. So
You were the one saying on the way up here that the mountain air, the mountain terrain just breeds cross country runners.
Oh, yeah. See, when you go down east and running the state championships in cross country, whether it's guys or girls, you're used to running on these mountain paths where their track could be up and down hill, could be over creeks, like all kinds of stuff. Even the 3As up and closer to Asheville, Henderson County are like that. So there's a lot of good cross country this side of the state.
Colt Morgan ahead here in the count 2-0. And base is loaded here, so nowhere to put these Bulldogs. So Sellers been 79 to 81 on the gun, so velo's there. I think it's the curveball they've actually been jumping on a little bit this inning. I think that was the one Cook smoked up the middle. You see the dimensions, 316 down the left field line, 360 to center, 316 down the right field line. 3-0 delivery. Squares the bunt. The old 3-0 fake bunt. 3-1 count now. Say Hayesville, an interesting location up here in western North Carolina. Only a couple minutes from the Georgia border. Not too far from Tennessee. How long does it take to get Tennessee from here, you think?
No idea.
Quick Google search.
I do know it took us just over 2.5 hours today, and we went through.
Ooh, fist him there. That's going to hold up for Monty. So nice job to come back from 3-0 to get the pop up to second base. So a fisted liner into the glove of Monty. That's going to bring up number 27, Caleb Kephart, another senior for these Bulldogs, playing third base this evening. Only 1 run on the board here. So a ground ball, force at any bag.
About 50 minutes to Tennessee from here.
So it's still probably more manageable to go play some of those teams than drive all the way down into the Buncombe, Asheville area.
I'm telling you, if we would have gone the way you thought would have been quicker, we would have been sitting on 26 or 40 still.
There's a spotted fastball, 1-1 count.
I was telling Ryan a couple weeks ago after I traveled to Blairsville and came through this way the first time ever, we need to maybe hop into Rabun County, Towns County, Union County, Georgia, and start covering some of the North Georgia teams that Hayesville, Murphy, and the Smoky Mountain 1A conferences usually play non-conference.
Ground ball. picked up, thrown to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. So it's going to be an RBI fielder's choice for Kephart. Hit it just soft enough to stay out of the double play there. Fielder's choice RBI. That is Bain, who is out 5-4, second base. So now 2 down. 2 runs in here for the Murphy Bulldogs. Setting up a little bit of drama here on senior day. I like comebacks, so we'll see if the Hayesville Yellow Jackets can answer in their side of the inning, but they got to get one more out here. Gonna have to go through number 14, Aiden Williams, spelled with 2 A's, A-A-Y-D-N. Aiden Williams, the sophomore. Ground ball to Monty at second. Goes to first, and is out number 3. So 2 in on 1 hit, 2 walks, and an error. All right.
I want to thank our first inning sponsor, Bloom Patch Farm. Bloom Patch Farm in Hendersonville, offering over 300 dahlia varieties for spring planting and provides floral design services as well. VIP cutting and floral tours are booking on the weekends now through October. Contact us at 828-772-1798. Visit our social media pages, Facebook at Bloom Patch Farm and Instagram at Bloom Patch.
I want to get back in those keys of the game. We talked about key 1, small ball. You know, small school needs small ball to thrive. I saw a little bit of that there from Murphy early on, taking the extra base, getting the bunts down. Key number 2, got to let that mountain grit prevail. You know, get dirty, create runs, be relentless, be noisy. There's just a certain brand to mountain baseball, you know, not afraid of skin knees, not afraid of dirt underneath the fingernails. So got to get dirty and fight hard for the win today. And then the third key is, what's the depth look like in a shallow pool? You know, when you're out here in the 1As, you don't necessarily have those rounds of cuts that you would have at a TC Robertson or in Asheville. So those secondary players in this smaller school setting have got to step up and complete the job, right? You may not be asked to drive in runs with extra base hits, but you may be asked to put the bunt down, field the routine ground balls. So a lot of the secondary players beyond your couple stars on each side are going to have to do their job today. So that's your Meineke Fleet keys to the game. We appreciate Meineke for sticking with us all season long. So due up here for your Yellow Jackets will be Michael Mauney, the Berea commit. He'll play for Coach Pufall out there in Kentucky. And Berea's a good look for some of you kids. I'll tell you, you got to have really good grades, and you have to have a tax bracket of a certain amount. So, for example, we looked at Berea for my son because I was a teacher, and my wife was a stay-at-home mom, and we were in the tax bracket with my son's 4.0 to go into Berea free. They're a work-study college. One of his friends in high school, a cross-country runner, ended up there. So Michael Mauney not only going to be a stud on the field for them, but he don't have to pay much at all. It might actually be $0 for that college 4-year career there.
Mauney.
So big fan of Michael Mauney. Second base today. He can play shortstop. Really impressed at the prospect filming we did at Brevard back in August. I knew you were there helping with that one. When we did live ABs, Mauney stepped in there against some of these bigger 3A, 4A names that were out there and barreled up, you know, caught the attention of a few schools. So we're proud of Michael. I hope he can open up a door for a few more Western North Carolina kids to join the Berea Bears. I think that's their mascot. So on the mound today for your Murphy Bulldogs is Peyton Bain, sophomore that Coach Edwards is pretty high on. Hey, this game starts the same way for Hayesville on their side of the first with a hit by pitch. So everybody's even now.
Stepping up to the plate, number 2, Cooper Matheson.
Oh, they switch around that lineup a little bit? Was Matheson second, or was I looking at a different one earlier? I had Bethel second for some reason. Oh, my lineup's
Another
goofy,
inside
ain't
pitch
it?
there.
Right. So Cooper Matheson up. Cooper also a senior. He's out in right field today.
On it goes. Throw down is high. Shortstop catches it behind the second baseman.
So I saw once that was out of the hand, I knew he had it. Just came up too high with it.
Yeah, I remember Monty from the filming. One of the names I actually remember from some of these guys. Asked him there, I was like, "You related to JB Monty?" He's like, "Yeah, down the line." JB Monty, a professional bull rider, retired, if you didn't know that.
Monty with an aggressive lead out there. I like that. Oh, it calls a strike. Got to catch it.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier we were talking about the preseason poll, and I said they'll probably finish 1-2, but it actually didn't. Swain is 10-2, and I think they are finished with their conference games, as there's a back pick to second. Money comes in safe. Yeah, Swain is finished with their conference games, so they will solidify the second place spot, and I believe that gives them a playoff berth, with the Smoky Mountain having 7 teams in it. Ball gets away. On a wild pitch, Money will advance to third.
Say Matheson's up there like, man, I'm doing a great job moving this runner over.
Now he has a good RBI chance and a hitter's count here. It takes a 4-pitch walk.
Now batting number 21, Jackson Sellers.
So Jackson Sellers going to try to help himself out a little bit here. Down 2-0. They got 2 on the corners here. First and third defense at the Smoky Mountain 1A level is going to be interesting because we've already had enough qualms with the bigger schools' first and third defense this year. I like to see catchers throw through. I like to see cuts in the middle. I just like to see aggressive defense. Sellers launches one in the left center field. It's going to split. Yep, it's going to rattle the fence. Monty's in. You see if Matheson can make it. He's getting the turn signal. Oh, and the throw is high, so Sellers better take third. He does. So it's a double, and he heads to third on the throw home. So 2 RBI double for the junior Jackson Sellers. Makes it all the way to third on that throw. So tie game.
Stepping up to the plate, number 3, Kyle Shaheen.
Here's the man of the hour. Just committed to Bob Jones University about a half an hour before game time. Kyle did a good job with his recruiting. Kyle was a guy that said straight up, I got enough credits that I shouldn't go junior college, so we had to take JUCO off the table completely. And as a parent, that's always an interesting task because now it's like, how do we keep the cost down with junior college being so affordable? Swing, and that ball is going to get over the shortstop's head for a base hit. RBI. It's going to score that pinch runner. That was Landon Cheeks running for Sellers.
Now batting number 11, Tate Roberts.
So RBI single, great way to celebrate your commitment to Bob Jones. Kyle had 3 good offers in front of him. He was trying to figure out the money, the academic side. Bob Jones was the choice at the end of the day. I was glad to see it. I think Coach Morrison's a great guy, good Christian conservative school that fits really well with a lot of our families out here in Western North Carolina. Strict. You ain't going to be able to hold his girlfriend's hand down there, that's for sure. But it's a good place to be. It's a safe place to be. And it's actually got, 6,000 or 7,000 enrollment, so it's not a small school. So bunt pulls it back here is Tate Roberts. Kyle, the other 2 schools he looked at was Hood College up in Maryland. That's where Coach Victory's at now, former Brevard head coach. I like Hood. It's in Frederick, right next to Carroll County, Maryland, where I grew up. It's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Base hit. We're going to hold up Shaheen at second. So base to base, single for Roberts. And then the other one he looked at was Mary Baldwin up in Staunton, Virginia.
Stepping up to the plate, number 4, Kendall Boyer.
Mary Baldwin is a good school. It was an all-women's college until about 5 or 6 years ago. They just started the baseball program in 2020. Had a little trouble getting going because of the COVID years. The one thing Kyle and I joked about with Mary Baldwin was, with it still transitioning to co-ed, it's about 70% girls there, so I knew he wouldn't have trouble finding a girlfriend. But at the end of the day, you know, when you had all three schools out in front of them, and you got to look at your factors that come down to cost, academics, distance from home, Bob Jones was the choice. So congratulations, Kyle. Congratulations, Coach Morrison, as well. Getting yourself a good mountain ball player. So Kendall Boyer, another senior, swings and sends one way up into left field. Plenty of room there for Hall to haul it in for out number 1.
Now batting number 10, Chance Hughes.
Chance Hughes doing the catching this evening. Number 10. Chance a senior as well. All the seniors getting in there this evening. That ball is going to sneak away, but not quite far enough for Shaheen to advance. Looks like Roberts was ready to take second, but had to put the brakes on. So Bain here, feeling it a little bit in the first inning, giving up some hard contact. That ball's blocked up, but not enough time there. Shaheen read that dirt ball really well. So both are going to advance on the wild pitch. So 2 more there for Hughes. Say Bain, skinny, good frame. Again, young man. Bain only a freshman. Say a lot of freshmen are forced into that varsity role here in these mountain schools. We see it all the way down in 3A conferences, 2A conferences where we're at too, though. Say Bain's been mid-sevens this inning, about 72, 75.
Stepping up to the plate, number 15, Dawson Devane.
So with the base open, Hughes heads down to first on the walk. Base is loaded now. Say Devane playing third base this evening. So all of them seniors in that lineup today. So base is loaded here. Devane still going from the stretch. Swings at the curveball there. It's a good first pitch strike, especially if the base is loaded. With 1 out here, you hope for a double play ball. So it looks like Devane probably is not the fastest of fleet. A little stockier. There's that ground ball, but it's going to be hit too soft for the double play. They're going to try to come home. That is going to be, wow. Taking the extra bases. How about it? So fielder's choice. The throw comes home. It's not in time. It's going to be an E5 on the throw, which allows Roberts to come around and score. So Shaheen scores the 4th run on the fielder's choice RBI. And then Roberts comes all the way around on the E5 is what we'll call it.
Now batting number 7, Cade Caruso.
Hughes to third as Devane is at first base now, and your number 9 hitter as the Yellow Jackets bat around here in the first. Senior Cade Caruso. I know we talked on the phone a couple weeks ago about some opportunities potentially for Cade. Not sure if he wants to go to college. Coach Sellers said he feels he's got the potential to. Talk to him after the game and see where his head's at. Devane took second base on that pitch, by the way.
Now batting number 5, Kara Fowler.
Interesting conference out here, the Smoky Mountain 1A. We were talking about Coach Edwards earlier. He graduated from Andrews, went to Western as a student. When he came back from college, he got right into coaching. He coached football and baseball over at Andrews from 2013 to 2021 before taking Murphy's middle school team and then transitioned over to high school in 23. But schools out here, it's, sometimes you got a good pocket of kids coming through. A lot of it comes down to your little league. How can you develop your players? Hayesville, Murphy, Swain are typically the 3 that get spoken about when it comes to baseball. Robbinsville, every once in a while, seems to have a guy. There's strike 3. Nice job by Bain to pick up the K for out number 2. It's going to bring Mauney back up.
Stepping up to the plate, number 1, Michael Mauney.
After Andrews, you have Hiawassee Dam. You got Cherokee, which is on the Cherokee Reservation. Wish that those kids would play more baseball because just like with their other sports, a lot of those kids, their college is already taken care of being part of Cherokee Nation. But we have never had a Cherokee ball player come through the program. Am I missing any? Rosman's joining them again next year, right?
Yeah, Rosman will be in this conference. They'll be a little bit closer to some of their foes down west.
Ooh. Nice catch there by Williams to
What is this?
snag the ball going behind Mauney's back. I think technically some of those other little intermediate schools might be in this conference, but they don't have sports teams for baseball at least.
Yeah, I think Nantahala School and some other school. Let's see.
So Bain's got to stay in that hip a little longer coming down. He's having trouble timing up. A lot of long appendages for him, legs and arms. Got to sync together. He moves fast, though. Just got to stay in that hip a little longer. Let everything connect. Mauney with a chance for a big swing here in the first inning. That's over top his bat. Has ball 4. He'll reload the bases.
Now batting number 2, Cooper Matheson.
So Mauney hit by pitch and a walk in this inning. Here's Matheson. He too took a walk. And Sellers on deck with the big swing in the inning. The 2 RBI double.
Yeah, those other schools include the Highland School, Nantahala School, Summit Charter Academy, Tri-County Early College. Those are all 1As. However, in the new realignment where we will be having upwards of 8A in North Carolina, Swain, Murphy, and Hayesville and Cherokee will all be on the higher end of the 2A. Still like 1A classification according to our numbers now,
Right.
but they're splitting the 1As up, so it'll be 2As and 1As. And the lower 1As for baseball across the state will be, I believe they'll only have 48 teams in the playoffs in 1A baseball, not 64 anymore. Just because there's discrepancies between the smallest schools and the largest schools, and you can see it even in 1A and 2A.
Oh, nice play by Bain. They say he missed the tag over here. He got back in. Hunter seems to disagree.
I thought he had
That was a
him.
nice back pick there. Because again, it's easy with bases loaded as the first base runner to think they're just forgetting about you. But they are holding the runner with 2 outs. I don't like that. I will say,
Yeah, he could have got in there. Looking at the replay.
what I'd like to see, I guess he was holding the runner the whole time on the pick, but what you like to see is just a back pick there, like a timing play.
Well, if he's a lefty, he's out at first. But the righty had to reach over, and it looked like he kind of got his right hand in.
So that is a big lead. He should throw over there again. Ooh, It's ball 4 either way. Everybody's going to come on in on an RBI walk by Matheson. So the senior gets an unconventional RBI. Hughes is going to come, well, pinch runner.
Stepping up
Hughes,
to the plate, number 21, Jackson Sellers.
Say Jackson Sellers had a really hard double there earlier in this inning, so not the batter that Bain is hoping to see right now. With 6 already in here, one big swing could make things real hairy real quick. So I think I might see some more baseball players out beyond left center field there, maybe in the rec fields. And again, that's probably a hint as to why Hayesville has a pretty good baseball team. It's just baseball's in the culture. Nice mix there by Bain. Goes back to the all-speed. Gets a swing and a miss, 67-mile-per-hour curve. Oh, it went back to the curve again. Sellers like, I'm waiting for it. So 1 is in. Monty's in. So 2 more RBIs for Jackson Sellers.
Now batting number 3, Kyle Shaheen.
So another first and third situation. Kyle had an RBI single here earlier in the inning. I'll tell you, Bain ain't throwing, like, there's potential in this kid. He's just too many walks. You got 3, 4 walks and a hit by pitch in this inning. And that's just allowing some of these hitters, these Hayesville guys, just sit back and wait for their pitch.
Be careful with that.
It was off. Good.
Yeah, but when you shot at it.
Latency.
Yay, radar guns.
Nice pitch. So I like these unis, the all gold unis. I was peeking over my shoulder here at the Lady Jackets game. So they got some nice uniforms too, rocking the black and gold. Runners off there. They're going to let that pinch runner Cheeks take it. So 2 out there for Shaheen.
Yeah, Hayesville and Cherokee definitely on the losing end of the realignment with the ADM numbers. Hayesville is the second smallest 2A school in the state with 387 average daily attendance, I think. I don't know what the ADM, the M in ADM stands for. It used to be average daily attendance. It's ADA numbers.
Oh, ball inside. So no action in the Bulldogs bullpen. It'd be interesting to see how many pitches they give this young freshman. That is one thing in small school baseball when you don't have the depth is trying to manage some of these arms. Asking a lot from your guys. Sometimes we'll see like our best players catch and pitch in the same game. Just got to cross your fingers and hope these kids have some sort of arm management programs.
Yeah, not many on the baseball queue for either school today, but I know there's players from around here that transfer out a lot who play 2 or 3 years of high school here and then go to out of state to go play somewhere else. Murphy has a
it's just,
famous alumni for that.
I mean, this school is like Hayesville, Murphy. I mean, a lot of our Western North Carolina schools, I mean, that's why we have a niche for the business that we do, is because half the battle is just simply sitting down with some of these kids and letting them know, like, what is a realistic path for you. That's why Kyle and Michael were so easy to work with, because they just took the information and ran with it. You know, they weren't pushing back thinking they were going to Clemson or Florida State or nothing. They understood the dynamic that was up against them.
Roberts.
And they're good athletes, and they're going places where there's daylight, you know. There's a boy that pitched at Robbinsville a year or 2 ago named Ethan Orr. I remember he came out to one of our filmings. He was a really crafty, kind of funky lefty. Reminded me a little bit of Danny Colomb, who's on the Twins right now. Mid to high sevens, nothing crazy, but it was funky and it had some interesting metrics. But he just went to work. He's playing down in the Asheville Men's League now. But these are kids, if I got them maybe a little earlier, not towards the tail end of senior year, just give them a little more time to think about and contemplate some of the pathways for them out there. All right, so Kyle Shaheen with the walk. His bases are loaded again. Tate Roberts had a single his first at bat. So Tate also a senior. I think Sellers is the only underclassman in the lineup today for Hayesville. If I stand correct, I'll let you know if I correct myself here. Say Sellers better start throwing a little bit. It's been a long wait in between the half innings for him. That's ball 4. It's going to be an RBI walk for Tate Roberts.
Now batting number 4, Kendall Boyer.
So after Murphy was able to strike first, Hayesville answers back with 9 here in their half of the first. Still no action in that bullpen.
Heck, we might be able to get home and watch the end of the Northwest game.
I don't know about that. Unless you want to drive back 64. Save that half an hour. It was a pretty drive, though. It was nice seeing some new areas. A lot of national parks, state parks we passed by. Beautiful little mountain towns. So Bain's got to be reaching his limit here. I don't know if anyone's got a game changer. See how many pitches he's got, but my rule of thumb, do you remember what it was when we were doing middle school ball years ago? It would be if you hit 30 in an inning, you got to automatically come out. So you'll have a pitch. I would have a pitch count. Like, let's say your pitch count was 65 for the day. If you ended up throwing 30 in an inning, it didn't matter where you're at. We were pulling you. Just got to be careful with that arm. Fatigue, right? That's when injuries start happening, is when you're tired and you're not repeating as much. You're trying to overcompensate with other parts of your body, other system, other parts of your muscle system. And next thing you know, you're lamed up for a few weeks. Elbow, shoulder.
Never had that issue.
Yeah.
I got a lot of pitches left in this arm.
A lot of bullets left. Speaking of bullets, Southern Outdoors, thank you again for being one of our home sponsors. I was reading up on them a little bit. They not only have the gun store, the gun shop, but they do auctions. Auctions are where it's at.
I gotta get over there.
Find yourself a good deal. So Kendall Boyer here. Swing. Hits one. Mile high and plenty foul. 2-2. 2 outs.
Yep, we are below elevation here. 1,890 feet above sea level. That's why it's a little bit warm down here.
What's back home?
2,400.
Gotcha.
That's Zirconia. I don't know what Hendersonville, Eddyville are, but where we're at is 2,400.
Oh, hit him. Or did it hit the bat? They're going to say foul ball, and no complaint coming from Boyer. One of the better mountain backdrops here, though, I will say.
And I love the one over here and right. The American flag in between. A lot of kids playing over between the softball and the baseball facility.
Best backdrops this year. Watauga had a good one for that sunset.
We'll have to put
Mountain
that.
Heritage has got a decent backdrop. Oh, finds it into the glove. So Roldan snags the line drive to put an end to a very long first inning that sent 15 Yellow Jackets to the plate. We got ourselves a score of 9-2 heading into the the top of the second.
Well, want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of Western North Carolina baseball we can bring you, including the Western North Carolina College Tour Series, the High School Scout Streaming Series, American Legion Post 70 coverage, weekly media content, highlight films, and more. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. Stay connected to us across all the platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@bbuniversitywNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. And follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram, at @bbuniversitywNC. And check out our website at www.baseballu.org. Here's we head into the top of second. Second inning is brought to you by Hail Tax Solutions. Thank the Lord, tax season is over, but if you did not get yours in on time, Hail Tax has the solution for you. They're the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, and they've been in business since 1997. Appreciate them for being our second inning sponsor.
Patreon's moving a little bit. I think we got 3 paying members now. So from a week ago, that's an increase of like 3,000% or something. So that's good.
I like the way you manipulated those statistics.
But overall, we got 35 members, too. So people are signing up for the Patreon in general. Every once in a while, I put the free content on there. But right now, join and see those playoff projections. And we're going to start some other content soon. It's just we got 4 games this week. It's been a busy, busy year. There's new tasks that find it onto the to-do list every week as we battle technology. And
well, good news. I haven't got the current updated projections on Patreon right now, but we'll give you a sneak peek right here. Murphy played their way in yesterday with 2 big wins over Hiawassee Dam, putting them, after all of yesterday's games, at the 31st seed, 31st in the 1A RPI, according to the NCHSAA. Knocked out Bradford Prep. For some reason, Bradford Prep had an RPI of top 32 or top 31, and they were in. They're 0-15. Now they're 0-14 according to Max Preps. Don't know how that works, but Murphy played their way in, and I think they're going to be solidified in even with a loss today, it looks like.
This should be some sort of caveat with that whole for, like, you at least got to win like 1 game or something.
Well, Murphy's that last team in right now. The last of the at-large bids. You've got Jackson Day, who's going to be 32nd in the RPI.
Who do they play the rest of the week? They just have Hayesville.
They just have Murphy just finishes with Hayesville on Thursday for their senior night.
Gotcha. All right, so Aiden Williams up here to lead off the second.
But yeah, trying to keep these updated every night. I'm going to try to put them on a Patreon. Last night was kind of tough. We had a game preparing for today's game.
I think if we can post 1 tomorrow and then post 1 this weekend, I think that's good content, and that would probably give some folks a reason to want to subscribe. Because
go check it out, guys. Like I'm keeping track of it every day. I'm looking at the scores. I'm putting in a lot of work here trying to see who's going where. We got a couple for the 1A side, which these fans are interested in right now. Got a couple of conferences that are still not solidified on who's going to be their conference champ. Local conference with the Western Highlands 1A, 2A split, as there's a foul ball.
Now, beyond Murphy, does anybody else have a shot? Swain?
Swain is solidified in because they are the 2.
Yeah, that's right.
So they are solidified a spot. They're 22nd in the RPI, but it don't matter. They were last. Local schools, I don't think anyone else in the conference has a shot.
Way down there, too.
Yeah, Avery's at 40, Hiawassee Dam's at 41, as we have a walk to
Aiden Williams. AAY. DEM, Aiden Williams.
Yeah, Avery, Hiawassee Dam are 40, 41, Robbinsville 44, Rosman 45, Cherokee 47. So a lot of these mountain small 1A schools who don't have that many wins are kind of lower in the RPI. Murphy looking to solidify their spot the last 2 games.
Once through 1. He called on a strike, though. I think he offered. Yep.
He did offer. Yeah,
I will say I hope Murphy makes it in because they do have such a young team. I'm looking right now. Besides, you got Adam Cook and Caleb Kephart and Alex Roldan, so 3 seniors. Everybody else in this lineup is a freshman or sophomore. I see only 1 junior. All right, Sellers gets the bunt, underhands it this time, executes much better on the 1-3. That was a good bunt, though. It's not going to count against Adams in the box.
Yeah.
Sack bunt.
Of the 11 conferences in the 1A West region, all but 2 of them are solidified. The Mountain Foothills 1A portion is only Polk County, so they're in no matter what.
They're good enough too. I bet you they make a run. You watch.
They're a very interesting situation because they have to finish above 500. They'll have to steal one from East Rutherford, the 2A number 1 team in the Western region and the conference.
They're not.
Hey,
They're
giving Coach Allman Gunner a little confidence.
Oh,
here.
dude, they're a good 1A team, but East Rutherford, I mean, heck, we'll announce it in the in-between innings, but we announced our new Poppy handcrafted popcorn player of the week, speaking of East Rutherford.
Polk's an interesting situation because if they finish
Nice pitch.
at third
Good
in
take.
the West or the Mountain Foothills 7, which I don't think they will, but if they finish third in that conference or they finish 500 or better, they will be one of the top conference champs. If not, they're just seeded throughout with the seconds and everyone else in the RPIs. Right now, looking at a 15 seed.
What did I just miss on our number 9 hitter?
You just had a bunt.
Am I off one here? I might be. So it's only been 2 batters this inning? All right, I was off one. So it was Adams that walked, and it was Hall with the sack bunt.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. So how did Williams end that first inning way back when?
I'll tell you here in a little bit after the strikeout.
So Hoggs down with the K. I was thinking Williams K to end that inning.
No, I think that was a ground out.
Yeah, it was Monty. It was 4-3. I do remember now. He whipped it over there. That's my bad, not recording that. So let's recap. Number 8 hitter leads off, walks. That's Adams. And it's Hall with the sack bunt. And then Hogg said the leadoff hitter strikes out. So now we have Roldan, one of a handful of seniors. He reached on a sack bunt. The error by Sellers, which he threw out in the right field in that first inning, it led to that rally by the Bulldogs to score 2. With a runner out there, 9-2. I mean, let's go ahead and get this duck in here, right? Let's get a little blue pit, an RBI single somewhere, make a little bit more of a game of it. Some swing and a miss by Roldan.
Yeah, Drone and Mountain Heritage playing for what could be the Western Highlands Conference Championship tonight.
Well, the fun thing about that is if Mountain Heritage can win that game, the game that we're doing Friday means so much more. If Mountain Heritage loses to Drone tonight, it's really just for bragging rights on Friday. Swing and a miss. Great curveball, but it's just going to get away from the catcher enough for Roldan to head down to first. So strike out and then a pass ball allows him to get to first. And that's going to send Adams to third base. First and third situation now for Adam Cook, who had a ripped RBI single up the middle there in the third. It's just a good baseball IQ play, too, because he took second on the throw home. See if Cook can come through here. Looks like a physical guy. Swing and a drive. Foul. Where did that one? Did that go into the net? Okay.
Yeah.
Playing tricks with my eyes.
The only other 1A
I was
conference.
worried. I seen all the kids playing over there. I thought it was lining right towards them.
The only other 1A conference, it's the split 1A, 2A Northwestern Piedmont, where Bethany Community and Cornerstone Charter both finished at 8-2. So I believe they're playing a tiebreaker game. It says it's a conference game. I don't know if it's a conference tournament game or what. We don't really cover them. They're playing a game tonight, it looks like, to decide who's going to win that conference, I'd assume.
And then on the Northwestern, and we're talking about the conference championships, Northwestern 4A, 3A split. I'm really intrigued by that conference championship tonight. Freedom upsets High Britain, so they got South Caldwell today. And Watauga beat Ash handedly. They got Alexander Central. So that's a good game. Predictors are probably putting Alexander Central versus South Caldwell into that game, but Watauga very much a talented team with the ability to knock off Alexander Central as well. So Cook pops out to the shortstop, Roberts to end the second, and here we are heading to the bottom of the second now.
Second innings brought to you by Hill Tax Solutions. Hill Tax Solutions is the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. In business since 1997, Hill Tax Solutions International is headed by former IRS agent Baseball University of the Blue Ridge welcomes you to the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series presented by CamWood Bats. We're live from Hayesville, North Carolina on the campus of Hayesville High School for a Smoky Mountain 1A conference matchup between the Murphy Bulldogs and the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. I want to thank our broadcast sponsor, CamWood Bats. CamWood Bats located in Haywood County, but serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Get your game badge, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more all available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. As part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. Thank you to CamWood. Well, just had senior night here at Hayesville. Congratulations
long
to
flip and drive
1,
up here
2,
too.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seniors.
Yeah, glad to be here, but holy moly, what a drive! Say Hunter took us through South Carolina, Georgia.
Been through 3 states today.
Seen a few things. Glad to be here, though. This is a really important game for us. First Smoky Mountain Conference game of the year. And this is a conference that gets overlooked sometimes, but this is the shining light of small school baseball in Hayesville. I mean, this field is beautiful. I'm sure Hunter will show you a couple angles here in a minute. No lights yet, but, man, what a great complex. I think it was just built a year or two ago. New scoreboard out there. But, yeah, I mean, I think some people back closer to Henderson, Buncombe County could take some notes on these folks and how they put together a facility.
Yeah,
All right. Let's see where we're at. Strike 3. Sellers with a leadoff K here of Bain in the 3rd inning. That is his 3rd K of the game.
we're back.
All right, so hopefully y'all are
That was a new
still
one.
tuning in. I'm not sure what that's going to look like later.
I've never seen anything like that before. Might want to cut these together later on, but with it being close to the near end of the season, we'll have some time to do that.
Coming up to the plate with the bases loaded, number 15, Brianna Patterson.
It looks pretty clear through here.
All right, so here we are. We got 1 out, top of the 3rd. Sellers on the mound. Pretty dialed in now. He's only giving up the 1 hit. Here's the pitch. Ball low. Fly ball left field. That's right to Caruso. So 2 down. That's going to bring Kephart up. Kephart doing the pitching now for the Bulldogs.
That's weird. We're just going to have a weird cut in here.
Where it goes back to the
countdown.
That's so strange. Yeah, it's like second inning, right to it.
We go from Hill Tax Solutions to the countdown, so we'll have to recut that, I guess. Have a better condensed game. I've never seen that. How many games are we in? 23,
This will be
22?
the 23rd game, I think we've done.
And a new thing arises. What are the odds?
Ball outside, 2-0. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Sellers. He's been low 8s, high 7s today. Speed looks pretty strong.
Yeah, thinking back now, it probably would have been better to put the Starlink on top of the home dugout and have a clear view.
Is it worth running the Ethernet cord down into it?
Wow.
Fouls it back into the netting there. That netting's pretty close to that front bleacher there. Some folks are going to have to watch their toes.
Notice the sign down there. do not stand next to netting.
Yep. All right, 2-2 delivery, 2 outs. Nice depth, but high release point. It's going to be up and out. There it is, strike 3. Some good arm side run on that fastball too. So that's 4 Ks now for Sellers. Sellers, I'm guessing those 2 runs in the first inning may be unearned technically. With Roland reaching on the throwing error and Hogshead moving the advance. It might be 1. I don't know. I'm so bad at scorekeeping there. Again, I want to thank American Legion Post 70 for sponsoring tonight's broadcast, our 3rd inning sponsor. Looking for new memberships. So if you live in Asheville, Buncombe, Hendo, please think about joining Post 70 if you're a veteran of the armed forces. Like the gentleman down there, Jesse Rochester's my main contact. They've worked hard to raise money for vans and buses for the baseball team. They do a lot of work around the community. They're not a Legion that just has a restaurant and a bar. They don't do that. They just get together, try to raise money for local causes. Again, American Legion Baseball has been around since 1925. The American Legion itself, I believe, has been around since 1919. And they include veterans of the armed forces from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, the Persian Gulf Wars, etc. Interesting history, raising millions of dollars. Raised over $47 million that was spent on affiliated organizations to benefit children and youth last year. Local charity campaigns of over $12.5 million in donations from local posts. Legionnaires across the country donate millions of hours each year in the Veteran Administration's voluntary service program, helping VA patients. So a lot of good work being done through Post 70. There's a 1-2-3 inning there for Sellers. So here we are on the bottom of the 3rd. It's going to be the top of the lineup here with Michael Mauney.
Leading off, number 1, Michael Mauney.
Mauney. So again, Michael going to Berea out in Kentucky. Kentucky, an interesting baseball state. A lot of NAIA baseball, D1 through D3, but no junior college baseball in Kentucky. It's crazy, ain't it? I wonder what a lot of those kids do. I remember I coached the Marion Swamp Foxes a couple years. I had a kid from Kentucky who was playing JUCO ball at
2, Cooper Matheson.
Georgia. Was it the Georgia South, Georgia State College South or something? We only have a couple down there. So Matheson, your batter now. Another senior tonight being celebrated. It's a ground ball. It's going to be deep in that 5-5 hole. Nice pickup there by Roldan, who throws it across, but is not able to be handled. And he's probably across that bag anyway for the single. So Jackson Sellers up for a 3rd time. He's working on a great day. 2 for 2, 4 ribs.
Stepping up to the plate, number 21, Jackson Sellers.
Big, strong kid, lifting, plays basketball. Talked with him back in the off-season about identifying some mobility things to start working on, but I like Sellers. I think he's going to be a good ball player. I think a lot of our top ceiling ball players out of this area got to consider junior college, get a little bit more baseball under your belt, some seasoning, see if you can get that transfer. Oh, fouls one back into the top of the netting. Get a real pretty field here. We're down the hill across the street from the high school. We doing okay still, or running any more
It's flirting with it.
Flirting with it. Oh, great.
Keep an eye on it.
Runner goes. Oh, nice piece
What?
of hitting by Sellers as the runner was off. That right side was wide open. He just smacks it into right field through that opening. So 3 for 3 day for Sellers. Matheson all the way to third.
Now batting number 3, Kyle Shaheen.
Kyle singled and walked in the first, picked up an RBI. This will be his third official AB. I think the challenge for Hayesville and some of these other Mountain 1As is getting ready to go down into the foothills a little bit and seeing some of those charter schools that play in that 1A division. Shaheen, the lone left-handed batter. Oh, Sellers going to get himself in a rundown here, and that's going to allow the runner Matheson to score. Sellers still tied up. This is where we see how disciplined we are. They're going to tag him out at second, so caught stealing for Sellers. That's going to allow Matheson to steal home there. So that's going to be 1 to 3, or no, 6 to 3 to. There's the second baseman that tagged him out, so 6 to 3 to 4 on the caught stealing. Nobody out there now on the bases with 2 outs. Good take. So Kyle got a haircut. His hair was a little longer when I seen him this past fall. So 3-0 count. With nobody on, you give him the green light here. So you go ahead and take a hack. That'll be ball 4. Second walk for Kyle.
Now batting number 11, Tate Roberts.
Tate having a good game. He's 1 for 1. Had an RBI walk there in the first inning, too. Say Kephart, not a hard thrower. You can tell he's just trying to build his zone up. Say 10-2 lead here now for the Yellow Jackets. They're starting to get into that territory of 10-run. Shaheen off. Good play down there. Bounces the throw. It's in center field. Shaheen's paying attention. He'd be at third base right now, but didn't realize that ball had bounced past him. So Roberts with a runner in scoring position. Risp. Say we're released the power rankings yesterday, and then immediately they got befuddled on Monday. Big game of the day yesterday was Cherryville knocking off Burnsville 2-1 after they lost to Burnsville 2-1 earlier in the year. Burns, sorry, not Burnsville. Burns, yes, down in Cleveland. So Burns is probably not going to be your number 1. Depends on how South Caldwell and Crest and some of those other top-rated teams perform. That's in the 5-5 hole. Shaheen around third. He's getting the turn signal from coach. He'll score easily. So RBI single for Tate Roberts. All right,
Now
so
batting number 4, Kendall Boyer.
2 down, 11-2. So 11-2. Boyer up.
Yeah, I got those power rankings up on the screen. Y'all can see last week. Had Burns at 1 and South Caldwell at 2, and this week it'll probably be flipped.
We'll see. South Caldwell still got to get through Freedom tonight, and then they'll play the winner of Watauga and Alexander Central on Thursday.
I'd like to mention that I had Hayesville in my top 10.
Yeah, well, I think Hayesville's a good team, but if they could have picked up a W against Franklin the other night and beat a free A team for me, we might have considered it. That ball is hit soft enough for Roberts to motor all the way in on the bloop single by Boyer. So RBI singles back to back.
Stepping up to the plate, number 10, Chance Hughes.
Out batting number 14, Mallory Peck.
Got a couple big games in the mountain side of those 10. Asheville and TC squaring off this week. We'll see them on Thursday over off McDowell Street in downtown Asheville.
I'll say that even at swing and a drive to left field. So another base hit. That is 4 consecutive. Excuse me. Well, there's a walk sandwich in between there, but we have 4 out of the last 5 batters with singles.
Now batting number 15, Dawson Devane.
So the leadoff fly ball by Monty was caught. Then he had single by Matheson, single by Sellers. Matheson scores on Sellers' delayed steal. Shaheen walks. Roberts singles in Shaheen. Boyer singles in Roberts. It's 12-2. Swing and a miss by 15, Devane. Another senior here for you, Dawson Devane. Beatty. No one calls him that. There's another base hit. That's going to score 1. And Hughes is going to hold up a second there. So Boyer in on the RBI single by Devane.
Stepping up to the plate,
13-2.
Cade Caruso.
It's going to bring the senior Cade Caruso up.
Hayesville already scoring more than they scored their last 3 wins. 12 over Cherokee, 11 over Robbinsville, 12 over Robbinsville. Right now, they scored their 13th.
So that Franklin game, I heard they fell behind 7-0 in that game before coming back to tie it and force it into that 8th inning. Franklin playing good baseball as of late.
Franklin played themselves into the 3A portion of the playoffs. We're going to spoil that real quick with 2 games remaining against East Henderson.
Yes. East Henderson's got an interesting week. 2 versus Franklin and 1 versus Smoky. They've been playing very well. If they sweep, there's a chance that they could flip-flop with Franklin.
I feel like if Franklin and East split, though, they're going to both knock each other out of the playoffs. So whoever sweeps that series should be in. East with a tougher route, but they also have the extra game against Smoky.
Smoky's got to play well this week, too, with their conference record.
Well, all the lower mountains have to play well besides Pisgah North. West Henderson, Franklin, both in the Final Four. Smoky at the 24 in the RPI.
What do we call it, balk?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Caruso here with 2 in scoring position after the balk.
Yeah, other than Hybrid, who's getting an automatic bid for winning the 3A portion of the Northwestern Conference, you've got in order.
Caruso sends one up the middle. It's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. So 2 RBI single by the 9-hitter Caruso. Scores Hughes and Devane.
Now batting number 1, Michael Modi.
So still in the 3rd inning here, and Michael Mauney up for a 4th time. He's been hit by a pitch, walked, and flew out. So working on an 0 for 1, 2 runs and a stolen base.
But other than High Breton, in order from the Mountain 7 is dang, they ain't even gonna let me get my thing in.
Spitting hits all over the place. Nice throw by that right fielder there. There's a Morgan out there. Came in chucking it.
Let me get it in real quick.
Go for it.
In order after
Stepping up
aside
to
from
the plate,
Hybrid, who's
number
26,
two,
you'll have
Cooper
Smoky
Matheson.
West or Pisgah, Smoky West, and Franklin, who are 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 27th, respectively, in the 3A West RPI rankings, putting them West and Franklin, the first two teams of the last four in. Irwin, another team looking on the outside, looking in, 31st in the RPI, second team out.
The old double steal. So Crusoe steals home. It's Monty that takes second. Ooh, that first and third inning. It's been a rough one. That second inning, and technically wasn't your conventional 1, 2, 3, but only seen the three batters. The first and third inning on that. So Hayesville making the statement on senior night that they own this conference. Say, I don't even know who gave them the closest game this year in the Smoky Mountain Conference. I'm going to guess maybe Swain. Uh-oh. Dealing with a little more latency here. So Matheson's still your batter here. So a lot's been going on around him this inning as Monty runs the bases.
I don't understand the internet ever.
Improve itself again?
Yep.
Strike on the corner. So Hayesville looking for that 17th run with Monty out at third. Murphy looking for that third out.
Hiawassee Dam played them close, 12-8.
Oh, yeah. That might be their closest one.
I think that's their closest conference game. Hiawassee Dam 12-8, and then before that, Andrews 8-1.
I don't know much about those teams. Coach might have thrown in some different lineups. Get your subs in. Oh, catcher didn't see that one. It lands on the gravel behind him.
Let's see, how many shutouts do they have in conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shutouts of their currently 10 conference games. It's dominant.
So that's the luck of the draw sometimes on small school baseball, depending on how your conferences are put together. Like we saw that a little bit in the Western Highlands this year, a little bit weaker drone kind of running over everybody.
Stepping up to the plate, number 5, Ben Bethel.
So Ben Bethel up.
One thing of note for the Yellow Jackets, they are on a 3-game win streak versus the Bulldogs and have won 6 out of the last 9. But within this series, Murphy leads the series 16-12 since the March 9, 2010 game.
So Bethel pinch hitting for Sellers. We'll see if that's a clean switch or if it's going to be a re-entry. Bethel, one of the names for us to look out for on our scouting sheet. Not starting today as he's not a senior. Typically in the lineup. Wonder if that's it for Sellers on the day, if they're going to save his arm maybe for Thursday. He may have not thrown a ton of pitches today, so he may be able to throw again Thursday if they need him.
Here's an interesting tidbit as well. No team in this series has less than a 3-game win streak versus each other. So each team, when they win at least 3 in a row.
Yeah. So this year it looks like they may be able to have a 4-game win streak. Hayesville won 2 and 24. It's going to end our inning there.
Well, I want to thank our home team sponsor for this evening. First one is Ledford and Parker. Appreciate them for sponsoring the home team. Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Ledford and Parker is a family-owned highway and underground utility contractor based out of Hayesville, North Carolina, and licensed to operate in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. LMP is seeking experienced project managers willing to work hard and lead others until the job is done. We offer competitive pay, opportunities to grow, as well as health insurance and a HSA match. Call or go online to apply at www.ledfordandparker.com. Appreciate them, as well as Southern Outdoors for being our home team sponsor. Didn't get a script on Southern Outdoors, didn't get any social media, but kind of makes sense for a small town outdoor shop.
My guess is they probably know who we're talking about. Heard some good things about Southern Outdoors, gun shop, and an auctioneer. I think I found a Facebook page for the auctioneer stuff, and it was just late. I appreciate Coach Sellers and setting that up. That's Coach Sellers' father-in-law's gun shop. So
That's awesome.
We appreciate them getting behind us and bringing us up here. Longest drive of the year by far.
I want to thank our away team sponsor as well, BH Granning Landscapes Incorporated. Tonight's away team is proudly sponsored by BH Granning Landscapes Incorporated. They're mountain grown and locally known and celebrating 20 years of service across Asheville and Western North Carolina. From the athletic fields to outdoor living spaces, they built a reputation for quality landscape design, construction, and maintenance. Big thank you to BH Granning Landscapes for helping shape the places we play, cheer, and grow on and off the field. As we head into the fourth inning brought to you by Hauling Solutions and Grading. Gotta have Andrew Casoria, owner of Hauling Solutions and Grading, out at the house the other day. Gave us estimates we can give to FEMA. Appreciate him for coming out. Appreciate their support of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. They've got everything you need for hauling, including dirt, rock, topsoil, and more delivered to your home business or job site. Appreciate Hauling Solutions and Grading for being the fourth inning sponsor.
So Cade Caruso, your new pitcher here for the Yellow Jackets. Sellers works 3 innings, gives up 1 hit, 2 runs. I believe both were unearned. 4 Ks, 3 walks. If this ends up being a 5-inning game, he's in line to be your winning pitcher. So leading off here is going to be Aiden Williams for the Murphy Bulldogs. Say back in 2023, Hayesville and Murphy split. Hayesville beat Murphy at their place 7-2. Murphy beat Hayesville here 5-4. Back in 22, Murphy swept 12-9 and 15-5. And back in 21, Hayesville swept 6-5 and 10-1. So this is a rivalry that goes back.
Well, after that 3-game win from 19 to 21 with no games being played during COVID, Murphy was on a
hot streak.
9-game win streak from 2015 to 2019. They had some good players back in those days.
Well, one of the main reasons I want to come out here is one of my coaching buddies that I coach with, Mitchell Whitener. He used to be a college coach at Wilkes Community College when they had a team. And he's from Haywood County. And he would always come up here to get some scouting done. He felt that there was players up here that were worth taking a look at. We feel the same way. And, you know, we're going to keep that tradition up. Just make sure we're not missing any players out here.
But, yeah, one of those teams that led Murphy to that 9-game win was Michael Curry. He was here his freshman, sophomore year, then transferred to Gainesville High School in Georgia to go do what a couple of my friends did who were from the Andrews Murphy area and transfer over into Georgia to then get that Hope Scholarship. And he went on to play for my Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, boy.
His brother actually stayed home at Murphy and quarterbacked the Bulldogs to a state championship and went on to Western. So kind of a situation where, you know, placing a kid where he's going to excel and where he wants to go to college, and you talk to someone and get those couple years in and get the in-state tuition, which Georgia high schools have great.
Say one thing I'd like to ask Coach Sellers about is just the history of the small baseball out here back in the 80s, 90s, 70s. You know, he graduated in 91, went to Western. So, again, my question is, well, what did small school baseball look like back then? Were there 3 or 4 kids coming out of these schools to the bigger schools? Were they heading off to the Georgia schools, Young Harris? So Williams down there with the walk, steals second. Got Carter Adams up, freshman. Say Caruso sitting. Another single.
Now batting number 15, Patterson.
Well, hopefully got that one in, guys.
So RBI single there for Zach Hogshead. It's going to score Williams from third and push Hall all the way to third. So a little bit of rally here. Hopefully they can string a few more together, but it might be a little too late here. If they can string 3 or 4 more runs together, they can at least extend this game. Nice hitting here by the bottom of the lineup and the top of the lineup. Hall to Hogshead.
Going to be a little cut up here, guys. We apologize for that. Again, new spot, battling issues. Welcome to Deep in the Mountains.
I mean, just hypothetical, if we had that Ethernet plugged in, would it be working? Or is it?
It's the Starlink. It's
today.
where it is. It needs to have more clear view, but there's no place to have a clear view that's close enough.
Well, we got about 365 days. Well, not quite 365 days, but we got about a year to figure this out for next year. Some of these technical difficulties. I might hit up, was it Chad Medford was the gentleman that used to work at WOS. See if he might want to come down to that Burke County game, drone hosting Mountain Heritage. See if we can get some insight. I know he does more, I think, the wired in stuff, hardwire.
It's just weird how it kind of comes and goes. Don't understand that. I guess it's where the satellites fall in the sky. Why couldn't Katy Perry go give us internet up?
Yeah.
Blue Origin and Gail King and whoever else went up there. Maybe one day they'll let us
The
go.
old amusement park ride. Stolen base there by Hogshead. So rolled in with 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Here's one. Instead of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, Baseball University of Mars.
Yeah, right. I think we're just going to focus on the mountains.
Mars has mountains. They have water. Bet they have better internet than we do in Clay County, North Carolina.
So strike 3 there to Roldan. That's 2 Ks this inning for Caruso. That's going to bring Adam Cook up. Adam 1 for 2 with the ribby. An RBI in that first inning.
Yeah,
Fastball inside.
Murphy on the opposing end of a 16-3 route. Yesterday, defeating Hiawassee Dam in Game 2, 16-2 after winning 7-3. I don't know how they're managing to play 4 games in 4 days with 2 of those falling on a Monday. I thought they had to, if you played 4 games, you had to play on a Saturday.
Do they abbreviate the innings? Are they 5-inning games for a
I
doubleheader?
don't even know if that's allowed according to the High School Athletic Association. But they're managing to do it. I mean, Hayesville did last week. Monday against Cherokee, Thursday against Franklin, 2 against Robbinsville on Friday.
So it's second game in a long week for us. We were doing the private school sector yesterday. Asheville Christian over at Christ School. Christ School winners 8-2, 9-2?
9-2, I think.
9-2. Wells Alderman with the big swings yesterday. A home run and a triple was our CamWood Bats player of the game. Aaron Gosnell looked good on the bump. Cam Walker came to close it out. It was 85-86. Sophomore for Christ School. Oh, what are you waiting for there? So again, this is just where the disciplined baseball, not playing scared, not getting back on your heels, worried about making a mistake. Because that pass ball should have been plenty for Hall to score from third base there. So Yellow Jackets get a break there. So 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Curveball misses up. Ball 3 to Cook. And your bases are loaded here for the Murphy Bulldogs. Good time to mention, we had a sponsor yesterday for our game was Poppy's, and Poppy's is also our weekly sponsor for the Poppy Handcrafted Popcorn Player of the Week Award. Tough this week. We had some good nominations. Hunter Dye was nominated from Stuart Kramer, had a really good week hitting in that Easter tournament they had. See, it was Jack Livingston from North Gaston was nominated for a good pitching performance. But we were keeping an eye on this game last week. East Rutherford was playing East Lincoln. That was a good, prove yourself game. And East Rutherford rolled 4-0 over East Lincoln with the help of starting pitcher Malachi Dato. Dato pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs on 2 hits, earning the win with 11 Ks and a walk. And at the plate, he swung it pretty good as well. It was 4 for 9 with a dinger, 5 ribs, and 4 runs. So congratulations, Malachi, your Poppy Handcrafted Popcorn Player of the Week. We'll get with you and Coach Reynolds soon and get you a bag of delicious Asheville mix for your reward along with your certificate. So a good year for Dato when it comes to baseball university terms, right? He was our CamWood Bat Player of the Game in that RS Central matchup, and now a Poppy's Player of the Week award for him. Big fan of Malachi, hoping that he comes out and does some work with us this summer. He might not even need it, to be honest. He's making a good name for himself. Swing, pop fly foul. Gonna be on over into the Lady Jackets softball field, but misses all the bodies. Everyone's safe.
Haven't seen a softball come over yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, so they're striking everybody out over there.
What's the score?
Looks like it's 8-3 Murphy over there. So a little bit opposite turnout from the baseball game.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll find someone to do the baseball university or softball
university. I have no desire. I mean, I understand the area needs it. They really do. Honestly, I think the girls' sport that thrives the most in the mountains is volleyball. I think that would be the one to build around. But improving the softball side, we would expand if we could find the right female coach to take the reins for softball university. Runners going on the full count pitch. It's ball 4. It's going to be an RBI walk for Peyton Bain. It's Hall that scores from third. So he's got to be glad to make it in after missing his previous opportunity on that pass ball. Cook up the second, Hawks at the third. It's going to be bases loaded opportunity now for Carter Morgan. Colton Morgan, sorry.
Gonna roll some scores for us.
Got some early ones? What do we got?
Mooresville defeating our friends over at South Iredale, Coach Little 6-2. Wesleyan Christian defeats Greensboro Day 11-0.
Say Christ School's got Wesleyan on Saturday. Any interesting ones playing?
Interesting in the 2A sector. East Wilkes is up on Mount Airy 4-1. I've been paying attention to them.
It's hot fly in that little Bermuda Triangle there. So who calls it? It's going to be the center fielder, Boyer, with a good call. Takes it away from his middle infielders. It's the third out of the inning. So they almost bat around. 2 runners in. They leave the bases loaded. And the score right now is 16-14 as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, middle of the fourth inning brought to you by Holland Solutions and Grading. Andrew Casoria, owner of Holland Solutions and his grading, is the guy to call for any kind of gravel, dirt, rock, topsoil, and more delivered to your home, business, or job site. Hauling Solutions and Grading has dump trucks large and or small enough to fit your needs. You'll also want to give him a call for any kind of grading needs such as driveways, culvert replacements, bank erosion, ditch work, building pads, and more. Andrew and his great team will take care of you. Call or text at 828-776 your solution.
Oh boy, well, I'm glad we're up in this press box because yesterday we were down on the field right behind home plate, dealing with the heat, dealing with the technology overheating. Today we're in a cool press box, but still dealing with technological issues, that's for sure.
Yin yang. It's like we're telling again. We might be able to get through it there.
Say, is it going to be one of those Providence Day Charlotte Christian games where we got to switch to your hotspot?
We'll see what happens.
Well, bottom four. It's going to be Kyle Shaheen, Tate Roberts, and Boyer. Kyle working on a pretty good stat lines, 1 for 1, 2 walks, the ribby, stole a base, 2 runs scored. Tate Roberts working on a good stat line. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 2 RBIs and a walk, and 2 runs scored. Boyer 1 for 3 with the RBI single. We'll see if Coach switches up some of his position players and batters here too with the lead. Looks like we got another new arm in here for Murphy's going to be Grayson Hall, be the third pitcher of the evening for Murphy.
A lot of games being played today in the state. 188 games.
It's Tuesday. It's conference day.
It's conference tournament day. It's wrangling in some extra games this week.
So we're thinking about trying to pick up a 5th game of the week here on Wednesday, but honestly, I haven't seen any rescheduled games or makeup games put on that schedule yet that are taking a look at.
There's some teams who have scheduled some games but previously not on the schedule. Tuscola traveling to Swain tonight, Smoky Mountain versus Mountain 7. Those were 2 teams who were not originally scheduled to play each other.
It's an interesting one. Again, hats off to Swain and all, but I have a feeling that'll be a 10-run rule. It depends. Tuscola's a smart team. They got good coaches, meaning like they know they can win that game, but they might not use their best arms. They might give their secondary guys a chance to stretch out a little bit, especially getting ready for playoffs.
Well, first and foremost, it's 2 teams who have played under the minimum. Tuscola's played 21 games. Swain has played 17 games. They're 16-5 and 11-6 respectively, so they've got room to add to their schedule. So the ball driven to center.
Shaheen
falls in for Shaheen.
Shaheen is him.
Leads off with a single. But yeah, they have the opening on their schedule. But it's interesting how they're doing this because it benefits both teams when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, RPI for
Tuscola looking to
Swain.
move up with a couple of wins to get into the higher RPI. Getting an 11-6 opponent on the opponent win percentage is always good. And Swain, on the other hand, their opponent winning percentage is in the 3s, so they need as much help as they can get in the 1A portion of the RPI, and Tuscola is that at 16-5, and their opponent's winning percentage will be higher with Tuscola playing teams like Burns and South Point and other teams like that who've won a lot of games.
Figured out how to get that TC Robertson game in. When they dropped that game, I was bummed. We weren't going to cover it because it was in Buncombe County, and for those of y'all know why we're not going to Buncombe County this year. However, we were going to go and attend that just as fans, and they canceled, and it was a bummer. I think TC picked up Charlotte Catholic instead. They ended up losing, and that's really been the deciding game that put them in the number 2 spot behind East Rutherford for our power rankings. A lot of controversy there. I've had a couple of people reach out like, how dare you put TC at number 2? And I was like, you know what? I personally feel TC's the better team. But when we're looking at winning games, opponents, East Rutherford's, they're undefeated. They've beaten enough good teams to be considered for it. If there's that much of an issue over it, then they just need to schedule each other.
Yeah.
Stepping up to the plate, number 4.
Well, excited to see these scores between Tuscola and Swain and see how it changes their playoff projections.
Is that fly out center?
Yep. So I'm going to keep an eye on that very closely and report on it throughout the week.
So Boyer, 4th at bat, had a single and a ribby in the 3rd inning. Ball high. That's a pretty little scoreboard out there. Got the Hayesville flags on it. Hunter's already mentioned that everybody who got a new scoreboard has been using the same company because it has that same look to it. So whatever scoreboard company's been putting all these up in Western North Carolina, thank you. And I'm sure you're making good revenue this year.
Well, if we get out of here soon, we might be able to go catch the end of the Pisgah Smoky game.
We'll stop by on the way home.
Maybe.
Boyer's going to take ball 4. So we got 1st and 2nd now. Shaheen heading down.
Now batting number 10, Chance Hughes.
Pisgah 9th in the power rankings.
What's that?
Pisgah 9th in the Mountain 10 power rankings.
I mean, I'm
Smoky
still
on the
kinda,
outside
I'm still
looking in.
I'm high on Pisgah, man. I like Lester a lot. Like, he's their sophomore pitcher. He's an ace. I think Maddox Wright is very raw, has a ton of potential. Boone Carver, he's still indecisive on college, but man, he'd be a good JUCO catcher. I think he's a top 3 catcher in that 26 group. North's a good team. They don't have a ton of depth. Back pick here. They get him? Safe. Nice job by the catcher. It's just that Bain back there. I think they put back behind the plate catcher for them. It's like Hughes, I think. Nope, not Hughes. Yes, no. Why am I struggling to figure out who that is? That's 16, 10, or 18 on his. Oh, that's Bain. I guess they put him back behind the plate as their starting pitcher. Oof, that's rough on the arm sometimes. So Hughes is your hitter now. Sorry for the confusion. Hughes working on a good day. He's 2 for 2. He had a walk, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, sorry. And that's a single up the middle. So Shaheen in to score his 3rd run of the game. Boyer up the 2nd.
Stepping up to the plate, number 15, Dawson Devane.
That's a 3 for 3 night for Hughes. That's his first RBI. Devane 1 for 3, has 2 ribbies, scored 2 runs, reaching on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning as well. Ball out. So yeah, good day of baseball out here for the Yellow Jackets. Can't say the same for Murphy right now, but they're a young team. There's some talent I see there. Fly ball center field. It's Cook out there. Makes the catch. Boyer's going to tag and head to 3rd. Hughes stays at home at 1st.
Now batting number 7, Cade Caruso.
So Caruso 1 for 3 had the 2 RBI single there in the last inning. Runner goes. No throw.
Yeah, he's still looking to improve to 12-7, 11-0 in the conference, Murphy. Probably going to fall to 7-11, 7-4 in a conference. Still a good record in the Smoky Mountain 1A. If you go 650, 700 winning percentage in this conference, you're pretty good.
It's just a different dynamic. There's all these different dynamics in Western North Carolina based on demographic, boosters, size of school. Again, we were at Christ School yesterday, and you're looking at one of the most highly funded programs. It's a $60,000 a year school to attend. A lot of those kids don't end up paying that, but they have facilities, and it's all year round, and they have personalized. They have a personal trainer up there that they hire, and it's just a great environment. And then you have small schools that got to do everything themselves. I think Yellow Jackets here are the kind of like the prize of the 1A system, show you how they can do it, like with boosters. I mean, the stadium is beautiful. They have facilities. The talent is solid. You have schools like TC versus in North Henderson, where North makes the playoffs almost every year, but they got to fight to do it with everything they can, where TC, again, they have great boosters, great coaching, tons of depth. And it's gravitational pull, right? So they have kids from the other Buncombe County schools, from Henderson County, find ways to transfer to TC to play for the best. And that's kind of, you saw it with Tuscola a little bit. You see with Asheville, the better teams seem to find ways to attract the better players one way or another. So I'm a fan of staying in your neighborhood, try to make it work. That's why I like Gunnar on. Like Gunnar and I were talking the other day. His dad's the head coach, but he could have gone to any other school, and he decided to stay at the 1A school, be the hometown hero, and he's going to NC State. So every route can have a successful ending if you're working hard.
That ball's
Swing.
driven.
Yep.
Deep left field.
Oh,
but
stays
it's caught.
Up. It's caught.
That'll bring us to the bottom of.
Quick question. Crusoe before him, he walked.
Yeah, he walked.
Okay, my bad.
So that'll bring us to the end of the fifth. Again, Patreon, links on your screen. Would appreciate you guys to check that out. Some playoff projections. We've been talking about a lot of 1A playoff projections today that we haven't really had a chance to talk about because we haven't seen that many 1A schools. So get on there. We'll have some updated ones after tonight's games. And stay connected on the social medias, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, website, all on your screen. So we head to the fifth. Fifth inning is brought to you by Nova Pitching Performance. Coach Anthony Payne over there doing great work. Want to talk about him?
Yeah. I mean, he's really involved, too. If you work with Coach Payne, he's going to try to find a way out to your games and watch you pitch, too. He's helped a lot of young men gain 10-plus miles per hour on their velo by breaking down the biomechanics, the statistics of their mobility, their stability, just trying to see a range of movement. So, again, if you take your pitching seriously and you're trying to figure out all things from routine, velo gain, just more efficient mechanics, you're going to want to get with Nova Pitching Performance, Coach Payne. Well, top of the fifth here, but this could be it. Up 17-4. 3 outs and ball game's over.
Yeah.
So
you were talking about staying at home or whatever. One of my friends just walked in the booth who kind of did the thing where, like what Michael Curry did for Murphy, and went on to school in Georgia and got the Hope Scholarship in state to go to the University of Georgia, and Spike Squad member right here who went to Andrews and then graduated Union County. So
nice.
Two things where you get that in-state that North Carolina
Georgia kids want to stay in Georgia.
Yeah. Well, North Carolina kids want to go to Georgia, and that's what we got to end. We got to start having kids want to stay in North Carolina.
Well, North Carolina's got to do more for their students. They just started the NC Next Scholarship this year. It's supposed to give families making under $100K some sort of financial package finally. I'm wondering what they've been doing with the lottery money all these years. But Georgia, Florida, New Jersey, there's a lot of states out there that have really good scholarships to make sure if you got 3.0 plus, you're going to school for a good price. New pitcher here real quick. This is Brady Reynolds, sophomore. I believe, hold on, let me look at my notes here. Yes, Coach told me we got to look out for this sophomore, Brady Reynolds. So we'll take a peek here, see if I can get away with a radar gun reading. Maybe not yet. We'll wait a minute. It's going to be Williams and Adams here in the 5th. Last hope for the Bulldogs. What's that? Oh, it don't matter. It's a weird thing. Like with this runs on 5G, right? 5G internet. And if there's ever a radio guy here, they run on 2.4. You know, so there's been times like there's radar systems set up. We'll set up on 2.4. It's all we're not techie. We're trying. We're learning as we go. But what do we get? A hit by pitch there?
Hit by pitch.
Well,
yeah.
hey, what a way to make an entrance.
Yeah, we need a backstage camera again of all the tech. There's
Gonna be
another
a
ball
wild
running its
pitch.
away.
Good Lordy. Not the way Reynolds wanted to start here. Again, plenty of lead, but you also don't want to give up 4 runs in this inning. If you give up 4 runs, then you got to go play that 6th inning. So 72 on that one, but he fell down, so we'll get another reading in a minute. So I wonder what these kids do for summer ball out here. I know there's some travel teams that run out of Georgia, 74 on the gun. Legion ball? I wonder if there's Legion baseball that
I don't
can be
think there
started out
is.
here.
Be careful with that radar gun.
Is it starting again?
Yeah.
All right. I think we may have a pinch hitter here. Is this number 21? Jonah Godsay. So this is a pinch hitter. So 3-2 count here. Latency gone?
Yep. Good enough for now. Camera 3's on his last leg, though. That power bank went down for a little bit, so hopefully we'll get it in.
Say, just need 3 outs here, Hayesville. Coach Sellers bringing everybody together. Got to appreciate Coach Sellers rocking the long hair. Gives more credence to what I'm trying to do, I guess. Exactly. Coach Edwards over here is rocking the big old red beard. I like that too. Some good looks by these mountain coaches. Well, quick little talk between Coach Sellers and the infield. Surely there's no trick plays on in a 13-run lead. That ball's going to squirt between the legs of the catcher. No advancement, though. These Murphy Bulldogs got to pay more attention on the base pass. Missed a couple opportunities tonight to move up. Another pinch hitter here. This is going to be Nathan Scogan, number 3. So 2 on, force outs available. Michael Monty doing backflips over here for some reason. So I don't know if y'all caught that one there, but I guess that's the trick play with 13 up is have your second baseman do a backflip.
I'm gonna watch a replay.
Try to distract your runners and pick off to the shortstop. This ain't Savannah Banana Ball yet, but it's something. Calls a strike on the outside corner. I was going to say.
So funny. Savannah Bananas were in Clemson.
Yeah, ran the hill, or what do they call it?
They ran down the hill. They were actually in Memorial Stadium, the football stadium down there.
Ran in with the football coach?
Yeah, ran in with Coach Sweeney. It was interesting because the left field line was, 150 feet? No, it was 190. It was 190 because that's what UJ softball is. But the right field line was like 370, 400 feet. And former Clemson Tiger, Jake Skoll, actually hit a home run there. Got trotted around the bases, had the phone out. So pretty cool for that. I watched some of that live. We had a lot of friends there. Saw it all over my Snapchat. I was like, how'd y'all get tickets? These things are like hot commodities.
Swing and a miss.
How do you feel about that as a traditional baseball guy?
Savannah Bananas?
Yeah. Because there's
I like it.
There's an argument going around Facebook and Twitter after they were at Clemson.
I mean, I like it because it's just promoting fun baseball. Like, that's the difference between these kids and my generation. Is like we just went outside and it was like you know what I mean? It'd be like, hey, there's 4 of us. Let's play 2-on-2 home run derby, or like make you just kind of, I don't know, like just make games up, like rundown, wall ball, home run derby, like just 3-on-3 baseball, wiffle ball. And you're always trying to do weird stuff, bat left-handed, throw the other way, just move, you know. So 1 down here after Scogan. Goes down swing. Another pinch hitter here. This is Nicholas Stalcup. Stalcup. First AB of the day. A couple lefties following each other here. So 1-2 count. See if I can sneak one more radar gun reading in here before I destroy the stream. 75 on the gun, so mid-7s for Roberts, or Reynolds, sorry, Brady Reynolds, mid-7s, which is fine for his age. He's got good frame, skinny. So again, Sellers low 8s today. These other pitchers, Caruso, and they're going to hold them up. So bases loaded here. So base hit, pinch hit single by Stalcup.
This is the continuation run at the plate here, so if you can get some RBIs in here, we might play the bottom half.
Yep. So yeah, Reynolds struggling a little bit, mid-7s, good frame, got to get stronger. It'll be a guy we keep peeking in on. I'm sure Jackson Sellers wasn't throwing 80, 82 when he was freshman, sophomore. So takes time. Ooh, did he? They're going to say HBP. It's an RBI HBP for Hogshead. Or excuse me, that's another pinch hitter, isn't it? That was number 28, Michael Brown. So let's write him in. Holy moly. So RBI, hit by pitch. He heads down to first. Kephart scores. Godsay to third. Stalcup to second. Rolden up, or are we pinch hitting here? Who we got? Number 25, Lucas Burrell. So another pinch hitter here. Let me write him in. All right.
Foul tip for strike 3. Brings 2 outs. Looking to get continuation runs at first. They've got to get 3 in here.
He's probably their best hitter. Adam Cook, 1 for 2 on the day. RBI single and a walk.
This is not the largest margin of victory according to Max Preps. I would have been last year's 16-1 route. There's also a 19-4 route back in 2014 by the Yellow Jackets. So usually it's lopsided or it's very close. You see 10-9, 4-3, and then you see 12-2, 16-1. Highlights are full sheet today. You'll have a lot to cut up and put in the condensed game, which you can find on the Patreon.
Yep.
I haven't actually watched one of those because I don't have time to sit down and rewatch our broadcast.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes. I think one condensed game was 10 minutes. The other one was 8.
I like that.
I still got to do last week's. That's where I need a video intern to get them out like the day of.
Literally.
Just hey, go home and do this for me. So bases loaded here. Nowhere to put them. 3-1 count. See, Reynolds getting a little frustrated with himself out there, but get out of your head and get your eyes on that mitt. Breathe. Moving too slow. Just quicken up his pace a little bit. He's thinking too much. So all the runners will be moving on this one if they know baseball. We'll see. We've seen a few Murphy Bulldogs not take the pass balls today, so we'll see if they're paying attention on the mound. Nope, they're not taking off. Up the middle, Monty gets on the bounce, throws it in. He's out. Ooh,
wow.
I thought he was
What a way to
safe,
end
but
that.
That is the ball game. Ground out, 4-2-3. Shoo! It was close, but
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm not saying
I think he might have been. Well, I mean, we're gonna look at her here. I mean, we already did, I think.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Let's
But
see.
I think they're going to call it, and we'll.
Here it is. Here it is. We'll see. Ooh, it was close.
Close.
Good stretch by Shaheen, but that's your game.
Well,
Final score 17-5.
yeah. Let me get in some ad reads real quick
Yeah.
for our 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Our 4 Chad
sponsors.
McMahons.
Yeah. I want to thank our 5th inning sponsor once again, Nova Pitching Performance, youth, high school, and college pitchers. You're trying to take the next step in your player development. Nova Pitching Performance is directed by Anthony Payne. Coach Payne has worked with several West North Carolina pitchers the last few seasons, helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velocity, and overall athletic performance by infusing data analytics, biomechanics. Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. If you're looking to make strides in your pitching performance, get with Coach Payne at Nova Pitching Performance ASAP, offering in-house and remote training options for high school and college level athletes. Nova Pitching Performance, school data, old school grit. I want to thank our 6th inning sponsor as well, House of Power. You're looking to take your game to the next level. House of Power is a baseball and softball facility located in Mills River. If you're a baseball or softball player in West North Carolina who wants to improve their skills and train like the best, check them out. House of Power was founded by former Clemson Tiger and professional baseball player Sheldon Reed. They offer one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching, strength and conditioning programs to develop explosive power, facility memberships you can train on your own schedule, and cage rentals for individuals and teams. Conveniently located in Mills River, check them out online at hopharrisville.com to learn more. That's HOP more. And as part of our partnership with them, make sure to use the coupon code on your screen, BBUWNC, for a 25% discount on your first lesson. I want to also thank our 7th inning sponsor, Chad McMahon State Farm. Proud sponsor, Baseball University. Just like your favorite baseball team, State Farm is here to knock it out of the park with great coverage. From home and auto to life and health, they've got the right coverage to protect what matters most to you. Give Chad McMahon State Farm a call or send him a text to 828-452-0567. You can also feel free to stop by his office in Waynesville. Working together with you, they'll make sure you have customized protection tailored to your individual needs with world-class local service. Chad McMahon State Farm, here to help life go right. As we head into the postgame, Meineke is the pregame and postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. With numerous locations in the West North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced, whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, and wheels, AC, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina.
Well, going through the box scores a little bit. Man, there's a lot to tally. I'll talk about Murphy real quick. 1 for 2 with a ribby, a stolen base, a run and a walk was the young Zach Hogshead. Adam Cook, the senior, 1 for 3 with a ribby and a walk. Peyton Bain, 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a ribby. And Hall was also 1 for 1 with a ribby and a sack, or a run and a sack bunt. For Hayesville, Monty, 1 for 3, 2 runs, stolen base, walk and hit by pitch. Matheson, 1 for 1 with 3 walks, 3 runs, a ribby and a stolen base. Sellers, 3 for 3 with a double and 4 RBIs. Kyle Shaheen was 2 for 2 with 2 walks and the 1 RBI and 2 runs and a stolen base. We'll get through some of the other ones later. It's a messy box score, but before we get into the CamWood Bats player of the game, I guess I'll go ahead and do our final spot for them. It's time to announce that CamWood Bat player of the game, but let's go ahead and thank CamWood, located in Haywood County, serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more are available for purchase at CamWoodBats.com. And remember, as part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all your purchases on the website. It looks like people have been taking advantage of that. Well, are you thinking the same guy I am? Sellers? Yeah. So Jackson Sellers is going to be our player of the game. 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, had the double, had a little caught stealing there that allowed the runner to score, and pitched well today too. Again, I think this is the line: 3 innings, 0 earned runs, 2 runs, 1 hit, 4 Ks, 3 walks. He's your winning pitcher tonight as well. So congratulations, Jackson Sellers. Low 8s on the bump. He's a guy that we really like for projection, JUCO, maybe beyond too. But I just think good stuff, good size, good frame.
Well, that's it for this rendition of Baseball University's Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. Thank you again to our sponsors, Meineke, Bloom Patch Farms, Hilltech Solutions, American Legion Post 70, Holland Solutions and Grading, Nova Pitcher Performance, House of Power, Chad McMahon State Farm, and of course, CamWood Bats, as well as our travel sponsor, Matheson Construction, our first home team sponsor, Ledford and Parker, second home team sponsor, Southern Outdoors, and our away team sponsor, BH Grand Landscapes Incorporated. Thank you again for tuning in. Catch our next broadcast on Thursday, where the TC Robertson Rams, 18-4, 10-0, travel to Asheville, take on the Cougars, 15-5 and 1, 9-0 in the conference. Broadcast will start at 4:30. First pitch at 5. They actually are playing tonight, so we'll see if this game on Thursday means anything for the Mountain Athletic Conference Championship or not. Again, want to shout out lastly our Patreon. Playoff projections will be on there tonight once all the games finish up and I get them tabulated to see who's where and if anyone played themselves in or out, and also stay connected to us across all of our platforms. Got all the social medias right there on your screen. Appreciate you guys for tuning in through all of the latency and internet issues, and we will see you on Thursday. Any last words?
Hey, long week. We appreciate